Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden. Today is going to be an interesting day because today is the day that the scene around my wildlife pond changes forever. My neighbour Mark is coming round with his mini digger, and this is part 3 of a series of videos where I convert the wildlife pond in the wildlife corner of my garden into a Jurassic jungle garden. And what we're going to do today is dig another 3 ponds, and those 3 ponds are going to be in a semicircle or a horseshoe shape all around the outside of the perimeter of the pond. The path around the pond here is going to remain in place, but then we're going to dig a pond here, and the spoil from this pond will form a mound on the outer perimeter. Then we'll have a gap here with a railway sleeper bridge going across, another pond around here with another mound around the back, another gap with another bridge, and a third pond here. So that's what's happening today. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to divide off this corner of the garden and make it feel like a garden room or a space that you go into. At the moment, it just feels a little bit two-dimensional for me. It's a little bit open to the elements. So by creating these ponds and these mounds, I'm going to create a space, and I can plant into those mounds plants with height and vertical aspects to them. So we'll have all kinds of large leaved plants around the edge of here, and that will make this feel like a space that we walk into. And I can hear some beeping, which indicates, I think, that my neighbour Mark is firing up his digger. So in a moment you'll see these 3 ponds being dug. And here he comes, the cavalry Mark, on his amazing little JCB mini digger. Brilliant piece of kit this, but of course it's not just about owning the equipment, it's about having the skills to use it. So I'll be eternally grateful to Mark for not only lending me the mini digger, but donating a half a day of his valuable time to this project. And as you'll see in a few moments, Mark makes short work of this digging job. Whilst Mark's doing the hard work, let me give you an overview of what I'm trying to achieve here. Now, I was stood in my wildlife garden the other day. This is my wildlife corner with a wildlife pond and a log pile and a hibernaculum and a wildflower meadow. And I stood looking at it, and there was something about it which wasn't quite right. There was something missing. And then I took to YouTube and I was looking at a channel called George's Jungle Garden. And I was trying to work out what George had achieved, which is quite amazing, and how it differed from what I've got here. And I realised that my garden here is a little bit two-dimensional, a little bit flat, a little bit exposed. So what I'm trying to achieve here is almost like an enclosed space or a garden room. And the way I'm doing that is by digging a semicircular moat around the perimeter of the existing wildlife pond. And by digging those ponds, those moats, that will create 3 mounds which will enclose the space. And into those mounds I intend to dig lots of organic matter and then plant lots of Jurassic jungle type plants. You know, those plants with large leaves like Gunnera and Tetrapanax and Rheums. And incidentally, if you've got any ideas of the type of plants that you think I could add to this Jurassic jungle garden, then do drop them in the comments box below this video, and I will include those ideas. I've had lots of ideas already in the first of this series of videos, so thank you for those. But I'm also open to more ideas, so please do comment below. Of course, once those plants take hold and start to grow and start to achieve some height, this whole space will start to feel quite enclosed. But there has to be an entrance and an exit, so that's why I've left 2 gaps here in between moats where I can come in and go out of this garden. And those entrances will be kind of made the most of with an archway, so I intend building some archways above these entrances, which signify the entrance to this secret garden in the corner of my larger garden, so that when you walk into that, you can't see the outside world and the outside world can't see in. So it will start to feel like an enclosed space. And I'm hoping by the fact that there's a kind of a circular path around the edge of the pond, which is then circumnavigated by these bodies of water, it will feel like that you're almost walking across the water with water on either side of you. So that's the effect I'm trying to achieve here. And it will take some time, it won't be established overnight, but that's the joy of gardening, isn't it? You have a long-term project in mind and a vision in your head, and it starts to develop and you watch it grow. And of course I will share that with you on my YouTube channel as it does develop. Some of the plants I plant in here I want to be evergreen, so I'm thinking about things like rhododendron or Fatsia japonica. But there will also be some plants which are deciduous and die down every year. As I've already mentioned, I think I've already got some tree ferns and some Trachycarpus fortunei, which I can include in this scheme in other parts of the garden. But again, any other ideas that you've got, please do drop them in the comments box below. So as you can see there, Mark is kind of reaching the end, and it's only taken him about 3 hours to dig this. And when I think about the time it took me to dig the wildlife pond by hand, which took me almost a year to achieve in and out in between other jobs, this is an incredible achievement, really. I will now tidy up the edges by pond liners, and the ponds will be planted up with water lilies and oxygenating plants. I'll have to do something to stop things like hedgehogs falling in and not being able to get out, so I'll make some kind of sloped edge to these ponds. And there we go. We're on our way. We have 3 ponds and 3 mounds. And I'll see you soon for some more Jurassic jungle adventures. Bye for now.